Attacks and exploits happen constantly every day, all day. What we need to know is how to block them all so data and resources are safe and used optimally. Well, Safeline is here to help us. It's a free self-hosted WAF solution that helps protect web apps by filtering and monitoring HTTP traffic between a web application and the internet. It protects the web apps from attacks such as SQL injection, XSS, code injection, OS command injection, CRLF injection, LDAP injection, and much more, among others. By deploying a firewall in front of a web application, a shield is placed between the web application and the internet. While a proxy server protects a client machine's identity using an intermediary, a web application firewall is a type of reverse proxy protecting the server from exposure by having client pass through the web application firewall before reaching the server. A WAF protects your web apps by filtering, monitoring, and blocking any malicious HTTPS traffic traveling to the web application. So now that you see why we need a WAF and how they work, let's see how to install Safeline. To install Safeline on your server, you're going to need these minimum configurations. Linux OS with Docker or Docker Compose, 1 core CPU, 1 GB RAM, and 5 GB of disk. You can check the server configs by running these commands. There are 2 installation methods available. Automatic deploy, there's a bash script available for you, so just run it and you can access the web UI directly, or deploy manually. Although automatic installation is much easier and time saving, I would still say to read the manual deploy docs to understand how the app works, and if needed, change settings from the start. So now I'm in my home server terminal and I'm going to paste this script. Once the script is executed, you'll get a menu with install, upgrade, uninstall, repair, and restart. So type 1 and press enter. Now it asks for a path. I want to change it to root Safeline, so I will enter that. Now just wait until the files get pulled from Docker. You can see that the installation is done and we have access to the web URL and the initial username and password. So open the URL and the software license agreement will be shown here. Read it carefully, agree, and start using it. Then enter the username and the password. So this is the web UI. On the left side, we have access to statistics, applications, attacks, allow and deny, HTTP flood, anti-bot, auth, and the settings. We'll get through these settings, but the first thing we're gonna do is to add a new application. So click here and add an application. Enter your domain name here and then the parts it will use. I'm going to use HTTP for now to show you how it works, so there's no need to get an SSL certificate. Here enter the upstream, mine will be the panel URL, then enter an application name. Now the application is added and running. From now on, the statistics section will update and inform you. There are also advanced config options for advanced users. For example, select how to get the IP, listen on IPv6 or not, enable HTTP2, redirect to HTTPS, and much more you can see here. Let's open up the demo server to see how it works. Here you have access to your traffic analysis, security posture, and data dashboard. First, let's see traffic analysis. It shows the request count, views, visitors, unique IPs, blocked requests, number of independent IPs requesting attacked, 400 errors, error rate, 400 blocked rate, 500 errors, and more. On the right, we have a graph of queries running per second, request of status, and blocking status. Then there's the geolocation section, which is really beautiful. You have access to visitors' geo overview and also their blocked request count. Scrolling a bit more shows the user client, which is devices and browser engines they use, response status, referring application, referring page, popular application, and popular pages in nicely detailed diagrams. Now let's move on to attacks. Here you have access to all specific details of all attacks that happened. You can filter them by IP address, domain accessed, port, and date. By hovering over any IP, you can add it to groups to block later or apply other plans. If you want more details on what they were trying to do, you can click on logs or click here on the attacks count. Here we had SQL injection. If you don't need any of these protections, click on semantic analysis and choose between disabled, audit mode, balance mode, and strict mode, which is enabled by default. Then there's the allow and deny, where you can set which requests to allow or deny. There are events and logs here too. And also you can set custom rules. So let's add a rule. Set a name and rule target, which can be source IP, application, URL, URL path, host, request types, and more. Choose an operator and put the content of the rule here. You can also add conditions to rules and or conditions to be more precise. When done, click Submit. It's as easy as that. Next is HTTP flood, where we have two options, rate limiting and waiting room. These logs will appear here for the admin. Here you can unblock anyone who was rate limited or just see why they were limited and what action Safeline took. Then we have anti-bot. It intelligently detects real users versus automated programs. It shows hits and verified anti-bot challenges. You can filter these by IP, app, or date. Hovering over any IP allows you to add it to an IP group, get IP info, see application name, domain, and whether the anti-bot challenge was hit or verified, plus the duration. You can see the hits and verified counts of each IP. If you don't know, a hit happens when a visitor, no matter human or bot, reaches the challenge endpoint. And the verified event happens after the challenge is successfully solved. Next, there's the auth section, giving another level of security with the WAF authentication. It creates a login wall for apps you define. App content is shown after logging in successfully. To add users to this login form, click on Settings and Add Users. You can also enable SSO and configure login page title, plus add third-party login with GitHub, OIDC, or LDAP. The last section is Settings, which is divided into Protection and Management. In Protection, you have access to IP groups, the fingerprint database, SSL certificates, and blocking pages. You can add a tip message, change colors for anti-bot, waiting room, attacks, and rate limits, and also add custom HTML for any of these. You can select between these three modes from single thread to maximum performance mode. For cleaning data, you can set these options and also setting auto sync for each of the nodes. And also there is notification tab, which I think is super important. So you can select between Telegram and Discord. Now let's say why we need to use Safeline. First thing is the simplicity it gives us. Everything you need can be done in the web UI created by the Safeline team. all on your self-hosted server, so no data leaves your server. So here's a short review of how a WAF works. Every request coming from real users or search engines passes through the internet and reaches the Web Application Firewall. Safeline checks each request. Good traffic is allowed to your website, web apps, or APIs, while bad actors like attackers, bots, and vulnerability scanners gets blocked. This keeps your site fast, secure, and protected 24/7. Now that we've talked about Safeline's features, you may notice this icon next to some advanced features. These options belong to the paid version. Safeline is open source, self-hostable, and free forever for personal usage, which is pretty awesome. If you need more, there's the Lite plan starting at $10 a month and the Pro plan starting from $100 a month. There's also a custom plan available, so contact sales support if you need it. That's it. Now you've seen what Safeline can do and how easily you can deploy it on your own server. Whether you're protecting a small project or securing a large application, Safeline gives you a powerful, flexible, and self-hosted WAF solution that keeps your traffic safe around the clock. If you want to explore more, I leave the links in the official website and documentation below, so make sure to check them out to get deeper into features, updates, and advanced configurations. See you in the next video.